Why would I not remember her name?
What is up, everybody? It's Vink here. And I tell you what, man. I figured I'd go ahead and start the recording off. Because I don't know why, but we're trying to figure out who the hot blonde is on fucking Rev 3.
No, don't fucking say. I know who she is.
Oh, I can't remember. Okay.
It's What's Her Fuck.
Yeah, it's What's Her Fuck.
Oh, you guys, this is a terrible video.
I love her.
And I figure, you know, we got someone in the background. We got two dicks and a chick, so it's all good. I figure, you know, fuck, man, it's gonna be February tomorrow. This shit's late as fuck, and we got so much more new games coming out for PlayStation.
Yay!
And guess what?
Free shit!
We got 2 games coming out for Xbox. Oh my god, they're so fucking old. Got Toy Soldier. What was it? Toy Soldier Cold War is coming out, which I actually enjoyed that game. I played it. You play it?
No, I actually haven't.
It's a tower defense game.
I'm familiar with it, but I actually haven't played that one.
And Dead Island. The original Dead Island. They couldn't even give you Riptide. So they give you Dead Island, which I thought was a good game. I bought all the DLC for it.
See, I didn't like the first Dead Island. I like Riptide a lot. My wife and I would split screen that one, but I couldn't get into the first one. It was really laggy for me, and there was like some frame rate issues, and I don't know. It didn't hold my attention like the second one did.
I never had an issue with the game at all. My friends had issues with me because I'd be that one random fucking dude to throw a propane tank at you and shoot it, and then you go down, and then I'd go get all the shit, and then go back and pick you up.
Wow.
Oh my god. And that's just how it would roll on that, and it was amazing.
But meanwhile, on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, PlayStation, you know, for right now the grass is a little bit fucking greener. PS4, I'm not lucky enough to own a PS4. I'm one of those generic gamers who has the old shit first for a while. Now, but
you live vicariously for some amount of time.
Yeah, for
an undisclosed amount of time, yes.
Yeah, so Outlast is coming for PS4, which I watched some game footage of it, which it looked pretty good. Everybody says, "Oh, it's one of those shit your pants scary games."
Yeah, I mean, I saw plenty of people shitting their pants on walkthroughs. Yeah, I know, just guys over at IGN, guys at Rev 3. They're shitting their pants. They're screaming like little schoolgirls. And so that got me excited because, I mean, let's all face it, the survival horror franchise has pretty much been dead in the water for several years now. You know, we grew up on games like, you know, the original Resident Evil and the Silent Hills and stuff back when, you know, games like that were quality and all about, you know, the atmosphere. But, you know, I just feel like a lot of those games have gone too much with the action, and they've just tried to, you know, appeal to the casual market a little bit too much. It kind of detracts from the overall like fear and terror that those games, you know, should bring to the player. But
you figure though, even PS4, they released Don't Starve. Mm-hmm. That game had been out for fucking a year at least.
That game actually scares the shit out of me.
It's been out for a while.
Like, people are like, oh, you know, this is kind of, you know, juvenile, looks like a fun little dorky game, but I was shitting my pants when those, like, werewolves came out at night and, like, jacked my shit up, man. That was terrifying, never knowing, you know, what you're about to run into.
Oh my god, it's night's coming, you're fucking 3 miles away from your camp, and your heart's pounding because you start seeing it getting darker and darker and darker.
Oh shit, I don't got any more bales of hay, I can't start a fire.
And you figure, let's see here, another good one's going to be Metro. Metro Last Light's going to be a good one.
Now that, have you played that?
Oh, fuck, I haven't played any.
Oh my god. Okay, now you definitely missed out. But
I'm missing out.
Well, not now. I mean, you get it for free. Price of on the house.
Well, you figure Metro Last Light had really good reviews on it, and it had one of the guys over at IGN named it or even at GameSpot named it one of his games of the year for 2015.
Oh yeah, well, it was nominated for Shooter of the Year, you know, the first one, 2033, was a great game. I love it. It hasn't aged very well, The game mechanics are a little out of date. It feels clunky at times. It's not always accurate, like with your knife throws, and it's still definitely worth a playthrough. Like, go back and play that game for sure. You don't have to play Last Light. It's not a direct like sequel or anything like that. You're not going to miss out on any, pertinent information. But definitely play Last Light simply because it's a fresher, more modern gaming experience as far as the mechanics and the controls. It's more fluid, and actually won a couple awards for being the best graphics on PC for a shooter. And I know if you've got like a really high-end PC gaming rig, that game is pretty amazing to play. So it'll probably look, pretty good on the PS3. I mean, it looked good on 360. I was actually surprised.
Well, yet another free game. You figure Payday 2's coming out. It got mixed reviews. I know people say that it does have its slight campaign, but the fucking bots suck. They don't do nothing for you. People use them as meat shields more than anything. But the multiplayer's good. And then you got Remember Me, which apparently every review I've read or I've seen
said it was shit.
Yeah, said it was a crappy game.
I still would like to. That's free next month.
Mm-hmm.
Really, because I think it was in UK. It was already free, and I was looking for it on the PlayStation Store, and that's probably why it wasn't popping up. I think it was UK only, and now we're finally getting it. Which if it's free, I'm definitely gonna play it. Like, I'll ignore the reviews for free, but it's not a game that I wanted to spend money on, considering how terrible, people thought of it.
And then for handhelds, we got Street Fighter versus Tekken, which, to be honest with you, it didn't get as good reviews as the normal Tekken tournaments or the Street Fighter games. Mm-hmm. But I mean, shit, it's free. Mm-hmm. And it's on the Vita, so you can play it whenever. And then ModNation Racers Road Trip is going to be on the Vita for free also, which sucks because I just fucking bought that.
That looks fun. Is that fun?
It's fucking fun, dude. You create everything about your driver's look and your driver's car. And it's just like it. Some people were saying that it's not as good as the Sonic All-Stars Transformed, but I think it's just as good. It's equally as good. I mean, yeah, you don't get to play as fucking Sonic or none of that other shit, but you can create whatever the character you want and then share it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I got the free Sonic. What was it, Free Riders or something? The Sonic game.
That's the All-Stars.
Is it?
Yeah, we got that for free.
Yeah, I know. That's the one that I got. I didn't play ModNation though.
Yeah, ModNation's gonna be free this one. I got it though.
Yeah,
the demo,
yeah.
shit.
I thought the Sonic one was pretty funny. But I miss the days of like Mario Kart and whatnot. Mario Kart 7.
Well, that's the reason why I like it.
Yeah,
it's because it goes back to that time. Because Nintendo ain't sharing anything lately, and I mean they talk about doing their licensing shit, but do you really think that's gonna work? I mean they have such a good standing with them being just strictly Nintendo. I mean, what do you think is gonna happen if they license out?
There was some talks in the works about them working out something with mobile devices like cell phones and whatnot, but I'm not really sure exactly how that would work, how that would be effective. I mean, they've been so proprietary over the years. I think that a change is needed. Obviously, I mean, looking at the sales of the Wii U, and
they were carried by that 3DS though.
Yeah, they've been carried by the 3DS, but they're still taking catastrophic losses. I mean, they need to do something, and it's good to push technology forward and come up with new technological ideas. But if you have an archaic business model, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because it's like, if you can't get that product out to people effectively, and draw in the consumer, then it doesn't matter what kind of new cool gadgets you have.
He has, was it whoever, I can't remember his name, who owns Nintendo. He has
Matsumoto?
Yeah, he has no urge or anything to drop that price point on that.
Yeah.
No matter how shitty it did, he has no freaking urge to do
Well,
something.
you know how they're dealing with the losses. Their business, like their employees, like the CEOs and all that, they're taking pay cuts, which I think is actually funny, considering nothing like that would ever happen in this country. You'd see no, salary losses by the the owners of the business, the CEOs or the shareholders at any point, we would just be still fleecing the consumer. I think it's actually really good that they're willing to take responsibility for, the state of things. I think that's awesome. Should have that happen in more countries than just Japan.
Oh yeah. And going over to another topic, I know we're gonna get fucking rickrolled and trolled through a master troller we know. I fucking love it, but the fact that Microsoft is kind of urging you to toss in your PS3 to take $100 price cut on the Xbone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for some people, for me, I see that as an opportunity. Like, if I didn't want to play on those systems, I can see it as an opportunity to actually bump up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do you see that as, them taking that price cut if you trade in your old system? And it actually is Xbox too. You could have traded in your 360 as well.
Right. Well, that's the other thing too. You got to mention, to be in complete fairness, the offer is for the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 Slim, or the E model. So they'll give you $100 store credit So first you've got to locate an actual Microsoft store, which not everybody is nearby one of those. I mean, I don't even know where the nearest one of those is. Probably Chicago, but for us, yeah, they'll give you $100 store credit as long as it's towards the purchase of an Xbone. And, that's cool and all. I think it's one thing to do it with your own products. Like, hey, Best Buy has, things like that. Oh, bring in your old laptop and, maybe get some money for it and put it towards a new one. That's cool. But I think you're kind of, you're walking a very fine line as far as just like, simple business ethics, when you're basically advertising, hey, bring in our competitor's product and we will give you money off our product. So because it's not like they're just trying to be competitive in an arbitrary way. They're saying, give up your product by our number one competitor and bring it in and we will give you ours. It's different than if they would have just said, hey, we're going to cut the Xbox One prices by $100 starting in April or starting in July. That's a completely different tone than, oh yeah, bring in your PS3 and trade it and we'll give you $100 store credit. I don't know. To me, it seems a little cheap. I mean, I wouldn't have advised them to do that, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I figure, they're going to drop their price point anyway. There's been rumors around about the discless freaking Xbone, and I just do not see... I just don't see the point. I mean, if you're going to come out with the next one, I just think they're going to be a dick about it. I mean, yeah, they're just going to try to get the money off of it. I mean, I agree, I agree with you. They should just went, hey, even if they didn't just drop the price point for like your April or something, like you said, if they just would have just went, hey, bring in any system, any one of these systems, and we'll drop it.
Right.
At least make it to where it doesn't sound like you're want to freaking kick Sony while they're down at any time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it walks a very fine line in just, common decency. Like, I would be disappointed, by the same token, I would be disappointed if Sony announced it, like, all fanboyism aside, regardless of what people likes, I think it's a bad move regardless of the company that's perpetrating it. I would be disappointed in Nintendo. I'd be disappointed in Sony. When Steam comes out with their Steam boxes, I'd be disappointed in them if they, made an offer like this. I think it's it's different than at GameStop, where everything is just kind of, objectively sold and purchased pre-owned. It's like, oh yeah, this is what this is worth and you can put it towards whatever you want. They're not representing a specific company. They're there to represent everything. They're not representing solely Microsoft or solely Sony. It's just, they're there to provide us, yeah, exactly, with whatever we want.
And that's exactly the point. I mean, if Sony would have went, hey, we'll give you $100 off, I'd be like, hey, here's my PS3 because I want a PS4. Just straight out, just because I want one. But I still don't I just personally, I still don't see the point in buying the Xbone right now. I really don't. I see so much more benefits on the PS4.
Mostly because of PlayStation Plus.
That's
like,
it.
That's
plus
really the
PlayStation
biggest.
now, they're beta testing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, they're going to be doing the ESO Elder Scrolls Online beta test. They're going to be PS4 gets the first wave of Destiny beta codes.
I see so many shit that PS4 is working on right now. They're working on the PS1 and PS2 emulator for the PS4.
Mm-hmm. That's huge. That's a game changer right there.
I mean,
like if they pull that off effectively, because we all know PlayStation Now is going to serve, by streaming PS3 games. So you'll have great titles like The Last of Us, Beyond Two Souls, the Uncharted games, Infamous, the previous Infamous games, but to have an emulator that can take you back to PlayStation 1 in 2 days.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. That's really huge. It's awesome being able to play those PS1 games on, our Vitas. You go to the PlayStation Store or even on the PS3 you can get them, but to have an emulator that will kind of, freshen up the graphics a little bit, maybe even offer trophies for, doing certain objectives, nice. That would be nice too,
That'd be nice. Well, and that's one thing I was with the Xbox, and I still am. I love the achievements. I love getting the achievements. I'm such a whore about it. Mm-hmm. Especially trophies now. I replay the games that I already beat on the Xbox just so I can get the trophies again through the PS3.
Right.
And, like I said, man, it's just going to be an interesting year.
It is, especially with the, possibility of getting the discless Xbox One.
I'm not so sure about it, considering that you figure it's going to be, they were saying it's going to be a terabyte hard drive.
Which is cool.
Yeah, but you figure, how?
I mean, that's cool in the sense.
They had like a 13 gig update.
It is. But here's my problem with it. Sony's already made their product upgradable as far as their hard drive. Like, why hasn't Microsoft? Why are they still waiting to release, the adapter for all the headsets that people have spent money on? The Turtle Beaches, the Tritons, the Astros. I mean, like, why are they just, like, holding these in their bag, like, and waiting till last possible second? I don't understand that.
Well, when you hold it for last possible second, because for a fact somebody in some other country is going to try to make a third-party one that you can order overseas.
Yeah, but they've actually circumvented that issue. They have sole proprietorship of that, and the only way that companies, third-party companies, will be able to do that is with the licensing, if Microsoft offers that to them. I mean, it's going to be like, Apple licenses the technology to make third-party adapters to like Griffin and some of the other third-party companies to just get a little cheaper, but Microsoft hasn't even outlined whether they're going to do that or not yet.
It's just like Sony doing that with their Vita cards for the memory.
Yeah, that is a good example too of Sony, kind of going into proprietary land, that abyss of proprietarism that annoys us gamers. The 3.4 millimeter jack on the PS4 DualShock 4 though makes up for a lot though. Just being able to plug anything in there. I still am looking forward to the patch for like the pulses and for some of the other.
Oh yeah.
The patch that they're gonna make Bluetooth enabled devices work.
I mean, it had to piss somebody off when you get a $200 headset and you can't use that shit. Mm-hmm. Especially when you get a new system.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. There's nothing more annoying than trying to get out. I was trying to play. Yes, I'm guilty of it. Playing the Tomb Raider multiplayer with Joel and John the other night, and you know what? It sucks. It sucks so much ass, but it's actually kind of fun because it's so terrible. And we were having fun with it, and it's annoying to only have that mono earbud for chat. It's really frustrating. It's like this doesn't even feel next gen, and both companies are guilty of that.
Yeah, we're gonna see it in the end. So I mean, only time will tell, guys. These companies are still babies right now.
Yeah, they're in their infancy.
Yeah.
We'll the next several months will tell us a lot.
Well, all right, guys, man, that's about out of time for us tonight. We'll end up seeing you again next week. Remember, if this helped you out or you liked any of this bullshit tonight. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and I guess we'll see you guys next week.